Welcome to Visionaries Global Media, your number one source for podcasting entertainment. Visionaries Global Media, envisioning excellence on a global scale.
This is Banned from Ringside.
Tonight on the Banned from Ringside podcast, Randy Orton commits to SmackDown and RKO's Nick Aldis. Seth Rollins versus Jey Uso in a title match on Raw. We have your NXT Deadline predictions, and Nick Wayne brings his mom to work. That and a whole bunch more tonight on the Banned from Ringside podcast.
I'm sorry, it's still funny.
Thanks for selling it again, guys.
Mom, this bully's fucking with me at school.
Ditch that 9 to 5. It's time to feel alive. Hello, Mark. So welcome to the Banned from Ringside podcast. As always, I'm your host, Bill Vagey, a.k.a. Handra Bullock, Miss Heliality. And sitting directly across from me, we have Jason Cornelius Bell. What's going on, JCB?
You know it's all about the boom. BFR, baby. And we know that I'll ask your congregation to bow their heads as I read from the latest edition of the Banned from Ringside podcast, volume 337, chapter 3, verse 14. And the good smart says, hashtag boo the heels. It's all good, baby. Listen, share, subscribe, repeat. The Holy Trinity at BFR. I like the Nick Wayne mom's turn, but it was a little, I guess, predictable, but we'll talk about that later. Outside that, another fantastic week of wrestling that we're going to dive into shortly.
And out there in Portland, Oregon, we have Two Beers. Zach Coleman, what's going on? Two Beers, Zach.
BFR West is in the house.
Happy 4-year anniversary to the Roman Reigns dog food segment to those who celebrate.
Somebody else brought up the dog food segment. I do not remember what
is. That when Corbin shoved the dog food in his mouth?
Yeah, he was a big dog, and so he rubbed they tied him to the post and rubbed dog food all over him. That was 4 years ago today.
Yep, I do remember that.
Man, I do not remember that.
I totally remember that.
Pretty baller, actually. I'm a big fan. Kind of wish I remembered it. And sitting to
come a long way.
And sitting to my right,
what up, turd?
We got Vice, Bo Geisman. What's going on, Vice?
Hey, I'm alive on arrival.
We got plenty of wrestling to talk about this week. I know I say that every week, and this week I'm kind of lying. I mean, it was kind of just a regular ass week of wrestling, which, God, I'm glad to have sometimes because you guys know what they say about wrestling, right?
Is the cheapest drug there is.
Let's get to that 3 count.
This mother.
Okay, man.
JCB, kick it off. What's the 1 count?
1 count, we're going to go talk a little WWE main roster. Obviously, we're going to do some deadline predictions on the back end. A couple of big points. Obviously, Bill talked about it in the open. Randy Orton on SmackDown commits to SmackDown, signs an exclusive deal. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, the swaying vote was Paul Heyman coming out and attacking Randy Orton solo, and Jimmy trying to attack Randy Orton, failing miserably. And Orton decides, yes, Daddy is home. He's coming back to get the bloodline and Roman Reigns. Kind of makes sense, especially when we were talking last week with Raw. Well, with I guess more so of the Survivor Series when it looked like Randy Orton was going to be a part of Raw. We were sitting there talking last week and saying how they looked like the Avengers. Raw was just so stacked at that point. You just had to move Randy Orton over to SmackDown. And then obviously this weekend, CM Punk is going to basically be doing the same thing. I would almost suspect he would be moving to SmackDown as well. Paul Heyman over there. It kind of makes too much sense not to even at least tease it, if not go ahead and do it all the way.
Zach, what do you think about the segment, and what do you think about Jason's prediction that corny motherfucker Punk is going to end up on SmackDown?
Segment was awesome. I love all this taking an RKO. Randy he's just like a legend to that crowd, and even though he is the legend killer, he's a living legend right now. He's in kind of the twilight years of his career, and he's an absolute superstar. And I thought it was a lot of fun. I very much look forward to his rekindling the feud with the bloodline. I'm actually going the opposite track. I think Punk is going to sign to Raw because they had those 2 big returns, and I think they're going to kind of balance it out. I think Punk will be feuding with Seth going into Rumble. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I think that Punk is going to stay on Raw also, but I mean, the way that Jason laid it out, I was thinking the way that Zach said it, the way that Jason laid it out as being Raw being so full of baby faces that it might make sense for him to go to SmackDown, but that's assuming that he's going to stay babyface, which I don't think we can do quite yet. The segment, like I said, it was one of those situations, exit stage left, baby, enter stage right, water bong. I had just gotten high, but I have to say that Randy Orton hitting that RKO on Aldis and his reaction afterwards being like, I just can't help myself. He was just it's like, oh, he was just right there and he took him down and the crowd popped huge. I popped huge. It was like, it was Randy Orton at his best, and it really does, absence makes the heart grow fonder. I really enjoyed the show, that segment. The other thing that I loved on SmackDown was Logan Paul on commentary calling. What did he say about Kevin Owens? He called him Otis on a diet, or Otis on Weight Watchers or something.
Yeah,
whatever it was, it popped me pretty good.
He also called him the Humpty Dumpty of WWE.
Yes, Logan Paul. Woo. Coming into his own, man. He's really, really feeling it. It's kind of one of those situations, I think, where Logan Paul always was a pro wrestler. He just didn't have a pro wrestling promotion around him. And now it's like he just kind of slides in, and he really doesn't have to change very much. He's just really good at what he does. But anyway, what else happened on SmackDown, our main roster, Jason? Wherever you want to
go. Just matches on SmackDown. Lashley beats Butch. Rich Holland once again kind of gets involved and costs Butch the match, so I'm assuming there will have some sort of spin-off feud until Sheamus comes back, probably around the Royal Rumble time. Santos beats Joaquin Wilde. Not a huge surprise there. I think Santos obviously getting that heel push that we've been waiting for. KO beats Grayson Waller. Once again, no surprise there. KO and Grayson Waller with Austin Theory are going to feud. Who came down and saved KO on Friday night, or made the save to KO because the heels were getting ready to jump on him. Somebody made the save, and I was like, oh, okay, this, I wouldn't mind seeing this tag team, and I can't think of who it was now off the top of my head. Obviously, the main event, you had Bianca versus Kairi Sane. Bianca goes over here. I know people are kind of getting upset about, Kairi Sane, taking the L, coming back, but I mean, she's facing Bianca Belair, people. So I mean, let's take that with a grain of salt. There's worse fates in the world than losing to the Bianca Belair at any given point on a SmackDown or a PLE pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it. So for me, that's just the matches on SmackDown. I guess the overriding story for SmackDown, opposite of Randy Orton, was Bayley and Damage CTRL, where slowly but surely it feels like Bayley is on the way out. Was told to stay in the back for the Kairi Sane match, but ends up coming out anyway and partially costing Kairi the match. So Bayley and Damage CTRL starting to see the cracks in the armor, so to speak. I figured Royal Rumble might be as good a time as any if there's actually going to be a physical breaking of the relationship between the two, but obviously time will tell. But yeah, Bayley is definitely looking more and more like the redheaded stepchild of Damage CTRL as weeks go by.
Zach, thoughts on Bayley?
Yeah, I'm fine with this being a slow burn. I've always enjoyed Bayley as a character, heel or face, but especially as a heel. She really kind of carried that indie arena pandemic era her and Sasha did. Mm-hmm. And I'm in no hurry to split up the group, but tension's fine, storytelling's fine. I'm here for it. I think it's cool.
Yeah, they're doing it a little bit differently than I would have done it. They're really laying it on thick with the Bayley being the sad sack. It just seems like her character is maybe done like a 180 where she went from being completely cocky and such an asshole to, oh, no, you guys are hurting my feelings. I probably would have done it a little bit less abruptly than that. But, At least they're telling me a story.
Still thick.
Jesus Christ.
Man,
Fucking
you ain't
horny
lying,
on
man.
me. Yeah.
You ain't lying.
Can't even
man.
talk about women anymore on this fucking podcast.
Yeah, you can. I was about to say,
guys
you know,
getting horny as fuck.
in this scenario, when I think Bayley, I think two things.
Thick.
I think number one, and number two, her NXT run that basically put her on the map. And I'm not saying it's in that order, but it's really kind of.
I'm not even saying like I'm a prude here, guys. I'm just saying it's just so horny in here all the time. I feel like I'm at the strip club after we had a tough business meeting together or something. Letting off steam with the boss. What else are we talking about?
Just one, I guess, side notes before I jump to Raw. Nick Aldis getting RKO'd last week. I'm not mistaken. Kevin Owens dropped him beforehand. I see a little pattern here of abusing of the authority figure on SmackDown. Just let's put that aside for later because I think that might come back up at some later point. Especially with the guys that are beating them, in this case, Kevin Owens and one Randy Orton. Let's jump over to Raw, open up with Drew versus Sammy. Drew McIntyre with a nice little, I would assume, a nice little dig on CM Punk, getting his 2 cents in on the CM Punk return before the match happens. I thought it was the best match until the main event came around, but we'll talk about that here in a second. Great use of Drew slowly revealing the heel turn as the match went along. I thought him clipping Sammy at the knee was finally like that's what heels kind of do moment where I was like, okay, now we're getting, the Drew that I've been kind of waiting for. After the match, he made the referee wait to hold his hand up, and then obviously backstage, he gets Sammy as he's getting looked at by medical. Heel Drew is a good Drew, and I'm here for this. I don't know if we're going to go back to Seth versus Drew at Royal Rumble or whatever the case may be. Obviously, we can discuss that here in a little bit, but I like this match. I like that Sammy's going to be out for a little bit, so that way you can sell the injury, make Drew look good in the process, and then obviously Royal Rumble once again. Sammy should come back. Drew should be in the ring when Sammy comes back, and you can rekindle it from there.
Zach, where you at on this?
Oh, man, awesome match to open a Raw. The story of Raw for me was just some really good wrestling. And, that's kind of what you need whenever the show is 3 hours long. And you need a little bit more of that in shows that you can be.
Yeah, it just
took them
1,500 episodes to figure that
out. Yeah.
Let that man ride, man. I was about to say, old man was in the chair beforehand. Triple H is just getting his feet wet.
This is pitch perfect stuff by Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, it's been so long since he's been such a pure heel. It's refreshing to see him acting as a pure heel, and a pure heel with a point. So my man holds a grudge a little bit.
I'm here for you, Drew. I got you, dog. You need
my
some
boy
help with your
Jason holds a grudge too. Watch out.
You don't want that.
You don't want it. But Drew, it's going to take a little bit more from Jey Uso to it's going to take more than a handshake for Drew to forgive Jey Uso. I think that's completely reasonable. Now, beating up Sammy after you beat him in the ring in a cheap way, that's pretty heelish. But I will say that Drew's promo to start the show was fantastic.
Yes.
Really compelling stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it again. The man looks like a fucking semi-truck. He looks unbelievable right now.
Yeah. Jacked as can be. I can't imagine. Well, I can because
you know what they say about roids.
Is the cheapest drug there is.
I can't understand how some people, and I guess I was going to retract that statement, so I'm going to retract it again. Wrestling is subjective, but for me, when I look at Drew McIntyre, I think world champion. I can't think of anything else, whether I like the character or not. Just the physical look of Drew McIntyre screams top of the card, world champion. Especially he's a heel now, it just makes it even scream louder. So that's just me. We'll talk about Drew as we go along. Becky, go ahead.
He's like the platonic ideal of a professional wrestler.
If you made like a plastic doll of a professional wrestler, Drew McIntyre might be a good example of it.
Yeah, I mean, he's got everything.
Didn't realize this when the segment happened, but I guess Becky and Nia Jax never had a blow-off to their feud after Becky got her nose broke? Okay, I was about to say, I didn't know. I guess that didn't happen, but apparently we're going to go to that. Whatever. Nia Jax beats Shayna Baszler. Becky comes out, chases her down, blah, blah, blah. One of the better matches of the night, DIY versus Imperium, best 2 out of 3 falls. Like I said before, I just wish we'd have built this up a little more to make this feel like it would have been more important. Neither here nor there. I thought all 3 falls were good. No, I shouldn't say that. The second fall is the classic. Here's 5 minutes. We're going to do a quick fall so now we can even the score up. I hate that shit. It's a 3-hour goddamn show. You got plenty of fucking time. Let's milk this fucking thing.
Right. Can I get on my cornet corner here for a second? This is really nitpicky.
Go.
But if you're gonna
Double
have
cheese,
if you're gonna
extra
have
mayo.
if you're gonna have matches that last 20 minutes before this, and then you're gonna have these 2 tag teams that can really fucking go. This is a fun matchup. 4 guys that are fun to watch. DIY, one of my favorite tag teams of the last decade for sure. Why have a 2 out of 3 falls match? Like, why are you having 3 pinfalls within 14 minutes when everything else is going long? Because that would have meant, if it was just a normal match, that, I don't know. I just don't know why you're doing 2 out of 3 falls in 15 minutes for those 2. Just make it a regular match.
So you'd rather see them wrestle for 15 minutes than do 2 out of 3? Just
Yes.
have a great big match?
Just have one match. Just have a match. That's fine. Now, that's really nitpicky.
It's not fun.
This is cool.
That's great.
This is cool. I'm just getting on my cornet corner.
3-Beer, you want a piece of this?
New bit.
I don't disagree.
Love it.
I'll play devil's advocate on this one for 30 seconds.
What up, turd?
The reason why I think they did it is to really kind of cement the DIY presence on WWE main roster. Imperium's been there. You kind of know what Imperium is at this point. And it's even if you didn't watch NXT when they were on it at that point, you kind of know who they are now. People that didn't watch NXT then don't know who DIY is. You've heard of this guy, you've seen this guy, but seeing them together, I think that's why they did it. If I could easily be wrong. I'm not saying that. I get why you say it should have been a one match, especially when all 3 falls combined to 15 minutes.
Let me ask you this, Zach. Do you think that Judgment Day should be appearing in backstage segments with R-Truth? It's a serious question. I wasn't even trying to be funny.
I do think R-Truth is great. I don't know that that's a good product mix. I feel like Judgment Day is maybe. I feel like they're a little too dramatic sometimes for their own good. It's a good faction. The story's good, but there always seems to be like a lot of drama, right? It's like a bunch of theater kids or something.
This motherfucker.
Tell him.
At our high school, the theater teacher was named Miss Morgan, and we called all the theater kids Morgan donors.
Oh!
Oh, man.
Which is real fucked up because I was in there.
Oh, no.
There we go. That's why he's so funny. That's why he's so good at this.
That's why I'm going to punch Bill in the
Right, I was
fucking
getting ready
head.
to say. That's not the look he's getting from you.
I did not know Bo was a Morgan donor.
No! He said it again.
Could have been worse. I could have been in a fake band.
Oh, okay. Moving along. Natty and Tegan lose to Katana Chase and Caden Carter. Is what it is. A great Nakamura segment. This is why every time they do this shit, I want to, give Triple H a hug and then punch the shit out of Vince because this is like PTSD all over again. Nakamura finally reveals why he's going after Cody. Cody reminds him of him going down the road of WrestleMania, losing to WrestleMania after going to such great heights. And now there's still a story to be told, and he's going to finish telling his story. I love this fucking vignette. Fucking Vince, that motherfucker fucked Shinsuke Nakamura up for the better part of 3 years just because he thought it was cute that, let's AJ and Shinsuke kick each other low for 3 straight pay-per-views and fuck everything up. It took Triple H to come back in and get this shit right to where now look at Nakamura, I'm like, ooh, he may still lose this motherfucker, and probably is, but damn, I'm looking forward to seeing him and Nakamura get this, or him and Cody get this shit on. 3-Beer, talk about the vignette of Shinsuke Nakamura and Cody's reaction to it.
I don't know. I don't really know what to think about this. I'm fine with it gives Cody somebody to work with and somebody to beat because they're just going to beat Nakamura. I mean, if you think about it, Nakamura is like the only guy in modern history who won a Rumble and didn't win the title, right? So that's just kind of where they slot him.
Edge.
I thought it was. Go ahead.
Edge.
Yeah, I guess so, but yeah, I guess so.
No, fuck, I was there,
right.
man. I was about to say, I was there. I watched it unfold. He lost, and I looked around. I was like, "What? He lost?"
That turned into a 3-way, though, right?
No, this was.
He did a one-on-one first.
This was Mania 27, so the main event was Taker HBK Streak versus. Well, no, it was the Streak versus Streak. Somebody was going to either HBK was going to retire or he was going to break the streak. This match basically was boiled down to.
Well,
that was the main event.
Still won the title like 10 times, though. Like,
I'm not saying that.
I'm just saying Nakamura's never won the title. Is what I'm getting at. He won a Rumble, but he never ever won a title.
Without question. And even like a year afterwards, 2 years afterwards, whatever. And that to me was like, ooh, making that parallel between where he's gone and where Cody's kind of taking steps on that road to. I think that to me where I was like, okay, this makes fucking sense and I love it. Even though I know Nakamura is 99% sure he's going to lose this shit, I still want to see it.
And as far as specifics go, I would love to give you specifics about this. I did watch it, but now that I think about it, this was right around the time my wife came in the room to change her shirt, and I was not paying attention to the TV. So the segment was on the TV, but eyes were not on the screen.
Word.
Titties.
Not a visual medium, but Bill has head on microphone.
He is so disappointed. He is so disappointed.
What did you expect, motherfucker?
Dude, Zach just lobbed it up and
I mean, to tell you,
windmill
everybody's,
dunk.
Everybody's, fighting. I got this motherfucker. Let me dunk it. No, let me dunk it.
Watch your head. Watch your head.
Right. Fire it all.
What was next? I had stuff to say. Just go. Just keep it moving.
Creeds defeats Dominic and JD McDonough. Pretty good match, basically setting up the Creeds and Finn Balor and Damian Priest. I believe it's next week. Don't quote me on that. Seth Rollins has a vignette backstage, or not a vignette, but interview backstage. Same thing with Judgment Day. Main event time, you have Jey Uso versus Seth Rollins. Obviously, Jey Uso coming in hot as can be, but losing to Seth was obviously the right move. Part of me was kind of waiting for at least to see Damian Priest, not saying he was going to cash in, but at least tease the cash in. That didn't happen, which was fine. I thought this was a really good match for both guys, more so for Jey, because I think ultimately somewhere down the line, once Roman Reigns goes away, that will put Jey Uso in a spot where he can win a title of major sort, in this case, the World Heavyweight Championship. He should probably win a mid-card title first, but we'll talk about that once he gets to that point.
They did Jey Uso right. They gave him a clean finish. They gave him the full match, and there was they did Seth Rollins right, too. Jey doesn't lose anything here.
Nope.
Losing this match to Seth.
I don't know. I thought both guys looked better going out than they did coming in, especially now Seth. I mean, now he's like a freaking workhorse at this point.
Yeah, and despite the fact that I don't think there was a lot of people watching on TV or tuning in that thought Jey Uso was going to win the title, they did a really good job in the building. Like some of those people in the building, especially whenever Jey got the big splash, there were some really good near falls, really excellent match, and this is the benefit of a Seth Rollins World Heavyweight title run. Like he's really turned this into a workhorse title they can be defended on regular TV. It's super cool whenever that happens. You know you're going to get a good match. So, what do you guys think? And this is pure conjecture, but it seems like we're leaning towards a Punk-Rollins feud. You guys think they put the title on Punk and strike while the iron's hot, or do you think they make him job and do business to put him in his place?
They're putting him in his place. I had this thought this week, too, where I think that, as much as Punk wants to say fuck you to AEW and go over to WWE and make a bunch of money, he's going to get restless because, he doesn't get to book himself. I don't know how much creative control Punk had while he was at AEW, but it's more than he's going to have at WWE. He is a cog in the machine, True. And I want to see. I really don't want to see, but I don't know how long it's going to last. The honeymoon period,
right? That's what I was talking about last week, and that this would be a great litmus test to where it would be coming close to a year when WrestleMania comes around, as long as Seth holds the title. I said it last week.
They should have him win the 24/7.
Bring it back.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say you see Punk backstage digging in the garbage. What are you doing? I'm looking for the 24/7.
That's why they had R-Truth debut the same night as Punk.
Just smart booking.
y'all motherfuckers ain't shit.
Hunter, Booker of the Year.
I'll still want to stick to Seth versus Punk for night one of WrestleMania. From that point, it would not surprise me if they put the title on Punk, because it would be getting close to a year for Seth. Punk's coming back, strike while the iron's hot type shit. It would not surprise me, not at all.
I feel like Punk has like the doom of Damocles, like the sword of Damocles, like above his head. Like
WrestleMania 40 is in Philadelphia, and that's basically ECW territory. Just saying.
Nah, that don't have nothing to do with what they're gonna do. I don't think.
Okay. You'd be surprised.
Job him out. Squeeze that motherfucker for all he's worth, and then kick him over to Impact.
I was say, man, Impact would be lucky if CM Punk fell in their last, man. That'd be instant eyes on the product.
That'd be a sun-dried tomato by the time he gets over there.
You ain't shit, man.
Dude. He'd be playing the same character that he plays in Heels. He'd be in there like with dead animals on him, drinking fake blood.
I never watched Heels. Is it good?
It's good.
Awesome.
It's pretty fucking good.
What else we got?
That covers main roster. I was going to say, obviously, we'll talk about NXT on the back end, but yeah, just looking forward to next week's main roster shows. I'm not even sure what the who's facing who, whatever, blah blah blah. But I'm just liking the direction of WWE coming towards the last 2 or 3 weeks of the year, leading into Royal Rumble. Everything feels like it's kind of streamlining into Royal Rumble, and it feels like Royal Rumble is going to be the shit this year.
It's that part of year where there's no pay-per-views until the Royal Rumble, which is in January. So it was just a good week of episodic wrestling television this week. That is something that's also something that we didn't used to say about WWE. So, it's clicking. It's still clicking.
No, good on them. I was about to say, it's about goddamn time. Shit.
Let's get going to that 2 count.
So all we had to do was get Vince caught up in some sex scandals and stock back trades, and now we're here.
They started the process of doing it back in 1983. They were just playing the long game.
You're right.
Meanwhile, we got to watch John Cena go over smiling for 7 years.
Did you just slow roll me? Did you slow roll me, bro?
They slow rolled the fuck out of us. Zach, what's a 2 count?
Yes, there was overall, the story of the week for all wrestling was just a lot of good episodic TV for WWE and also for AEW. Rampage was skippable. It's actually been pretty good last 2-3 weeks. There's always kind of been at least a standout match. I got nothing unless you guys do. We can just steamroll that shit and go right into Collision.
No. I was going to say, just kind of disappointing. But can I say once again, can we have a Continental Classic match on? I know they're going to do it tomorrow night. Well, shouldn't you have done this already? Isn't Rampage the caboose of AEW? Wouldn't you want to have more eyes on that motherfucker at some point? One Continental Classic match. It's a 20-minute time limit. How can you not do it?
I think I proposed this last week, didn't I?
I know I've said it. Maybe you said it last week. I don't know. I don't care.
I'm in total agreement, is what I'm saying.
If
I said it last week,
I'll give you the credit.
I agree with me.
I'll give you the credit, motherfucker. I don't care. It blows my mind how you have Brian Cage and the Workhorsemen versus Penta Vikingo and Commander as the main event. What the fuck, dude? Come on. You can lead with that shit. I'm not saying that can't be on there. Just lead with it. And then have something worthwhile as the main event.
That's a pretty badass match.
I'm not saying it wasn't, nigga. Damn. Shit. I'm just saying there is room for this shit and we can make it work.
I mean, you just said it like it was Shane Taylor versus Dark Una or Evil Uno or whatever. It's like, that match sounds pretty bad. Put Vikingo in it. I'll watch it.
I wish I could go back to the. I wish we had like competent shit where we can go back.
The two wrestlers I've been the wrongest about are Zack Sabre Jr. and Vikingo.
Right? You like, who the fuck is Vikingo? That's the next clip I would love. The next drop. Like, who the fuck is Vikingo? When every time he would come up, go ahead, Two Beer. I'm stealing your shit.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, you throw Vikingo in the mix, and maybe you got a stew going. But the collision was good. We had 3 Continental Classic matches. We had Claudio Castagnoli versus Brody King. I really didn't think there was a chance in hell of Claudio losing this match, and it was, I mean, a phenomenal match, first of all, just hard-hitting. Brody King has been predominantly tag or trios in his time in AEW, but the dude has a lot of charisma. He's just a beast of a dude, and he's a really good worker. And this kind of tournament setting is really showing us that. And he's 2-0 here, pins Claudio after just a wicked lariat. I mean, these guys beat the shit out of each other, and he pins them with a goddamn lariat. I mean, Claudio doesn't take many L's, so I thought this was pretty cool.
It's pleasantly surprising to me that Brody King is the one that they've decided to push as a singles guy right now, and they're having Malachi Black wrestle mostly tag matches with Buddy Matthews. I don't think anybody would mistake Brody King for the leader of that group, but certainly it's named after Malachi Black, so it's Malachi Black. But this match was fucking awesome. Brody King is awesome, and it's really the only quote-unquote upset that I would say that they've had thus far on television. I know that I saw a spoiler for Rampage, so I know the sorry, did I just spoil it for you?
There's only one Continental Classic match on Rampage. So, yeah, you kind of did. It's okay.
My bad.
I ain't mad, man.
But, yeah, this was really cool. Zach, or Jason.
I remember Brody King leading up to the pandemic when he was in ROH, and he was in line to face for the world title, and then all hell broke loose, the world changed, and everything just kind of reset. So for this scenario, me personally, not surprised, pleasantly, yeah, but I kind of knew what Brody King could do coming up to this point. So for me, this was just intriguing to how just two big meaty men slapping meat, how this was going to go. I was thinking Claudio was going to win it. I was happy that Brody King won, and it's good to see Brody King get a push. Still waiting for Malachi Black to get his, but, I guess it's going to be one at a time. It's TK, so as long as one of the 3 gets a push, so be it. Brody King's turn. Let's do.
What else happened?
Brody King will always get my cheering because he was in the first season, and I think he should leave. So
that's true too.
Abaddon versus Kiera Hogan was not a good match at all. Afterwards, she Abaddon ended up pinning Kira Hogan. Guess she might be in line for some kind of title match because
Unprofessional bullshit.
lights went out. They came back up. Julia Hart was in the ring. Looked like she was wearing a bra, and then the lights went out and she was gone. So yeah. Oh my God. I think it should be a requirement that all BFR members jerk off at least a certain number of minutes or hours before the podcast, so we're all in our refractory period.
It's the cheapest drug there is.
I mean, your boy's got fucking a job to do, literally a job. I mean, I can't just be coming back to the crib and foregoing wrestling watching just so I can appease you. I mean, what if I'm behind on wrestling?
Zach definitely strikes me as somebody who's jerked off at a job before.
Zach reminds me of Matthew McConaughey
he's
from The Wolf of Wall Street, and he's like, how many times a day you jack off? You're gonna need to pump those numbers up.
You're going to need to pump.
Those are rookie numbers.
Those are rookie. It's just maintenance, man. It's just keeping it's just keeping the wheels greased. That's what he says.
It is.
Great fucking movie. Great fucking movie. Go ahead, 3-Beer. I'm sorry.
I've told my wife that same thing. She's like, how often do you do that? I'm like, it's just maintenance. So like,
just keeping the tubes clean.
Yeah. All right. So
just gets you thinking clearly.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Here you go. Yeah.
That's great. Holy shit.
We also had Andrade El Idolo versus Daniel Garcia, and Garcia is taking a lot of L's in this. I think we talked about it last week, but this was a solid match. Nothing over the top, but just a really well worked match. These guys are both really good wrestlers, and Andrade El Idolo went over. That's kind of the main story. I don't know if you guys have any flavor to add to that.
It's just good to see Andrade in ring. Always still been a big fan since the NXT days. Him and Garcia had a really good match. Just, Daniel Garcia, at least in this storyline, just took the L. But you could see that Garcia could just stand with anybody, throwing it in front of him on the AEW roster. Just the results just aren't there yet. I'm just kind of waiting to see whether or not this sports entertainer's pro wrestler anger comes back up at some point, because it feels like what Daniel Garcia is doing right now isn't working. So maybe he switches it up and goes more on the lines of a pro wrestler. Obviously, he's facing Bryan Danielson tomorrow night. Maybe that's the fork in the road where things change and he goes a different way.
Who's facing Bryan Danielson?
Daniel Garcia, I believe, was facing him.
But then maybe I don't know what the spoiler is. I'm
sure that Bill loved this. This is my favorite part of this match was Daddy Magic on commentary.
What a talent. You talk about a theater kid.
Leave that boy alone, man. That motherfucker's funny on the commentary.
He's a theater kid. That guy played the lead in The Music Man.
And didn't even sing. He just talked aggressively.
No, that guy was a chubby dork in high school. I guarantee it.
Man, let that man live, dogs.
Come find me, Menard.
There we go. We're back.
It's been a good bit. He's been tame for like about a month and a half. It felt like Bill toned it down a little bit, but no.
It's like he got scared. Now he's just going to call him out.
Fuck him. I can take him.
Come find me. Reba's in this bitch.
We had probably the most inadvisable thing you could do. They had Willie Mack do, which is
come on, man.
Talk Wardlow backstage.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
I mean, like you don't think Willie Mack's just gonna get like 7 times next week?
I know what's gonna happen, man. But let that man talk his talk. He's just speaking his truth. Shit, let that man do his thing. Go ahead, Willie Mack.
I think against Willie Mack, it's just
I guess I missed this segment, but even without seeing it, I bet he's going to take like 7 pounds.
You know he's going to take like 7 power bombs.
He's just gonna get powerbombed until Wardlow gets tired.
Right? Yep, that might be like 3 or 4. Willie Mack is not a small
Which is
motherfucker.
good for yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's probably good for Willie.
We should DM Wardlow and see if we can have the loser of this year's predictions have to take a Powerbomb Symphony from him.
Shit.
Can you think of all the clicks it would get us?
My go ass ain't taking no Powerbomb Symphony for nothing. I will be picking straight chalk.
Dude, it's not going to be you. Like, I don't want to bury my best friend. Let's not do that, please.
We did have
so many
Roderick
likes.
Strong came out with David and Bit. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it would get us so many likes.
Okay, yeah, get good. Then
Give us 5 stars.
When we get right.
Everybody listening right now, go pause it. Go give us 5 stars. We don't have any rankings.
Unranked.
Bill would rest in power bombs.
We don't have a rank. Wait, hang on, man.
I don't know. We probably do.
Wait, somebody.
Just pretend we don't.
One. Okay.
If you're listening right now, give us 5 stars.
There
please.
you go. And then DM Wardlow, tell him Bill's waiting for him.
Or just, whatever you want to give us. We'd prefer it be 5 stars. It's your vote.
And then go DM Wardlow, tell him Bill's waiting.
Yeah.
Out of all the wrestling podcasts, we are one of them.
That's what I'm talking about. Put us
Man,
over, goddamn.
Man, we should put that on a shirt. that is really good.
I gotta remember that shit. When I go back, remember this. I'm gonna write it down. That's gonna be the next T-shirt. We'll do it white because you like it like you like a white T-shirt. We'll do it that way.
Do that one, and John Moxley would be the scariest cuck ever.
We're gonna have to Photoshop that one.
Can you just put like a barbecue sauce thing already on it? It would just save me time. That'd be good. But Roderick Strong came out with Taven and Bennett. The only reason I bigged this is because they had a match with the Iron Savages, which is not really a great name, but the names of the individual Iron Savages are some of the best I've ever heard. There is the Sauce Boss, Beefcake Boulder, and Dirty Bulk Bronson.
The
Those are
Sauce
just
Boss.
phenomenal.
Holy shit. Damn. If they weren't such a bad fucking enhancement talent team, the Sauce Boss, I can get behind that.
If you did like a pro wrestling name generator and basically coming up with something that good is like having a tornado come and pick up a bunch of bits of metal and turn it into a Mercedes-Benz.
It sounds like the search pattern in my YouTube porn.
Sauce Boss, Dirty Bulk, Beefcake. So Ethan Page called out Kenny Omega. It'll probably be a pretty good match. It's going to be in next week in Canada. Yeah, they're still in Canada. Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal versus Malachi Black and Buddy Matthews. This is kind of more. The only reason I bring this up, match was fine. These are all really good workers. Actually, the match I think exceeded expectations. This was a pretty excellent TV tag team match, and which is not surprising when you look at all the people in there. But did anybody else understand anything that happened with FTR? So lights come out, go out. When they come back on, FTR's music is playing. They come out, and then Malachi Black says something to the effect of like, "We know you're out here to join House of Black because the only people that have been here for you guys is House of Black." I didn't understand any of this. Do they have any kind of history at all?
No idea.
I know there's a lot of TV.
I mean, what an absurd thought that the FTR joins House of Black.
You know?
Like it's
they start coming out like New Modern Judgment Day, like Dax starts wearing eyeliner and shit.
Yeah. It's like I can't even picture it.
Cash turns in his fucking firearms for some katanas or something.
Dash comes out wearing Perry Saturn's dress.
You've been waiting for somebody to come back with that for a little bit.
He's got a fucking eyebrow piercing.
Yeah, right.
No jumps, just pumps.
Holy shit.
He's got an eyebrow piercing. Oh my
man, that's motherfucking money. I didn't get the back end of it. Come on, man. I mean, you've been beating their ass for like 2 or 3 weeks. Now all of a sudden they're going to join House of Black. Come on, stop. The match was good.
Okay, I'm glad I'm
this
not
was
the
just
only one.
it made zero sense, and like the audio was cutting in and out, so you really didn't hear exactly what Malachi was saying at first, but ultimately you got the gist of it. He was basically insinuating they were coming down to join us. You know, if you can't beat them, join them type shit. I mean, no, stop. It was just, I don't know. It was just a weird way to end the segment. That's all.
We don't need it.
I love. Yeah, we probably shouldn't talk about the next segment, but I'm going to. I love Tony's story, or I love Sky Blue calling out Tony's story and saying, like, she leans into it. Sky Blue knows exactly what she's doing. She's like, I'm gonna come at you next week. I'm gonna have my chin up, and she flips her hair back. She's like, I'm gonna have my tits out. Like, oh my god, you're killing us over here.
Yeah, you knew what you was doing, bitch.
Yeah. And then we had the Beaver Wrestler of the Year 2020 edition of Vikingo versus Kip Sabian.
The look on my face, I'm like, what? Wait a minute. He won?
No, he knows how big of a Sabian mark I am.
Dude, JCB's look like you asked him to do long division.
No calculator. What the fuck?
He's like, what?
This was pretty good. It seemed kind of sloppy and crazy. I was kind of worried about these guys. But Vikingo won, which is cool. He doesn't always do that.
Yeah, he doesn't win a whole lot.
Ever.
I tell you what, I would have been straight up mad if he would have lost, though.
Oh, he was not losing to Kip Sabian. I'm sorry. Kip Sabian opens with Vikingo's the most overrated wrestler on the AEW roster. Oh, yeah, you getting ready to get your ass whipped.
We need to start a rumor that Kip Sabian is Danhausen with different makeup.
Stop. You ain't
That's
shit.
BFR exclusive.
Breaking news.
That's fake facial hair.
Go, 3-Beer, go.
Keith Lee had a backstage segment, and the only reason I'm mentioning it is because he didn't say anything really weird. He's a weird dude, but this was just normal. And then the final, we can skip over some stuff. The final one, maybe it's up there. This has been a really good tournament. You know, I was lamenting the fact that C2 is not the G1, right? But it has been a good tournament, really good TV matches. This was maybe the best. It's definitely one of the best. Bryan Danielson versus Eddie Kingston. They kind of rammed the gamut of combat sports as far as like stylistically in this match. I thought it was very, very good. And Bryan ended up pinning him with the running knee. But it was a lot of back and forth, very hard hitting, kind of an homage to a lot of different styles, and I really enjoyed it.
Jason, what do you think of this?
Now, hard to argue if it's not your best top-rated Continental Classic match. It's one of the best. The only thing, and this is just me, if Danielson has the eye patch, then Eddie, and this is just me nitpicking, Eddie needs to be striking from the right. Because why? You can't see him coming. Outside of that, this was what it was. Both guys just, beating sparks off each other, and that's a good thing. Eddie Kingston just feels like now he's really at a point where it looks like he's not going to win the block. So now the ultimate question is what's next for him in 2024, especially now he's going to lose both of the titles. You're going to have to figure out what's next for Eddie, if anything. Otherwise, he might, fade into the background like so many others have before him. But the match itself, I thought was really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, Bryan Danielson knows how to have a great match, and and Eddie Kingston is a seasoned pro, and I'm sure we've seen them before. I don't really. Did they have a feud?
I don't think they wrestled singly.
So if they've
Obviously,
never wrestled in AEW, I mean, this was really good.
Obviously, Moxley and Kingston, but I don't think Kingston.
It was as good as I expected it to be, which is really fucking good.
No, it was well worth the main event spot. So, not going away disappointed.
For sure.
Dynamite had also very good wrestling and more Continental Classic and also a couple title matches. This was really, without hyperbole, I think this is one of the better Dynamites in a long time. Overall, wrestling quality-wise and also just kind of flow of the show-wise, it was a very enjoyable episode of television. Opened up with Moxley versus Roosh. I think this is stylistically a fantastic matchup. They say styles make fights, and they're both very hard-hitting. They're both very charismatic. And I think there's going to be a lot of new Roosh fans coming out of this tournament.
I thought that this match fucking ruled, man. Roosh fucking rules. You guys sound like, I'm trying to remember what's Rocky's coach's name? Mickey. You guys sound like Mickey from Rocky. You're talking about hit him from one side, and Zach's talking about styles make fights. You guys sound like Max Kellerman up in this B.
I mean, sorry, not sorry. You running around here with an eye patch on. I'm thinking, shit, I know which side I'm going. I'm going to stay on here for a little bit.
What do you think about this match, Jason?
No, this was another one of those matches that should be on the top of anyone's rankings when you list out the best matches of the tournament.
Burgess Meredith. That's what I was trying to think of. So we got
the actual name.
Burgess Meredith drop, and Zach was talking about Carl Weathers too. It's a fucking Rocky. This is a Rocky episode.
Holy shit!
No shit. Roosh has always been one of my favorites. Glad to get a chance to see him in ROH with his title run, and obviously Moxley is arguably the ace of AEW. Both guys just straightforward, and this is where I think Three Beer was talking about. They're just both straightforward kind of workers and straightforward kind of fighters. So in that scenario, you knew you were just going to get two guys that were not going to back away. Both guys, just making sure that the machismo is dripping off from every sweat pour that possibly could happen. So yeah, this was one of the better. Shit. But no, it was a lot of machismo. They were like, "Look, motherfucker, come on, hit me again. Hit me again." At a certain point, I'll let you hit me once, maybe twice. A third time, I ain't just gonna let you just hit me. You gonna get one of these back. But that's what I thought the match was. It was just basically
It's
the strongest.
Cheapest drug there is.
The strongest survived in that one. In this scenario, it was Moxley. No knock against Roosh. He'll be back at some point, hopefully, more so past the Continental Classic. But another good showing for Roosh. Mox gets 3 more points.
What else?
Just need a machismo vape. Vaporize that machismo and put it in my lungs.
No shit, baby.
Dripping off them.
We witnessed a miracle on live television. Just like John Mulaney said, whenever you see a wheelchair stranded on the street, you don't know what happened, but you hope it was a miracle. And Roderick Strong stood up and began to walk on AEW Dynamite. Phenomenal neck strength.
Oh, shit. The fact that in my head, I could see him, I guess it was on Collision last week, when he got out of the wheelchair, ran the ring, hit somebody with a running knee, and just, rolled back out of the ring. It was like, oh, get me back in the wheel. It's not over-the-top funny. It's not Christian Cage funny. It's like a next tier, 2 tiers down. It's still real fucking entertaining. Even though I don't like Roddy Strong screaming out the first person's name when he sees anybody, Renee, Adam, fill in the blank, Samoa, I don't necessarily like that. Everything else, I'm on board with.
Rank these people in order of most funny to least funny.
Okay.
Roderick Strong, R-Truth, Yano.
Is this a joke?
No, I really want to hear it.
This is like the best Mary fuck kill in history.
Duh. I mean, True, Strong, Yano.
Oh, marry, fuck, kill with these three. I am.
Yeah, you can do that one.
I'm marrying Yano. I'm fucking R-Truth, and I'm killing Roderick Strong.
Damn.
Sorry, Roddy, but Yano owns the rest now.
What else we got?
We had Cat backstage. This was a pretty interesting segment, so I'm not going to break it all down, but basically, Adam Page is being interviewed. He says that Swerve beat him in Texas death match. Took his friends to do it, but he also took something from him in return. And basically, what I'm getting the gist of is that he's going to cost Swerve the title shot that we're all talking about. Swerve deserved. So this thing isn't over. And then MJF comes in, and they have some back and forth, which I thought was very entertaining. It was pretty meta, and also intrigued me quite a bit because MJF has a lot of contenders. And one thing I appreciate about AEW right now is that everybody is vying for that championship belt, and Max is not the champion that we thought that he would be. We thought he would be more like Roman Reigns, but in his babyface turn, he's actually quite the fighting champion, even wrestling on TV matches and stuff. So
yeah, he fights all the time.
Yeah, it's the fact that there's a lot of people vying and you throw Hangman in the mix, I think is awesome. So they had a back and forth. So I'm into it. So I thought this was a super fun segment.
I liked the Hangman promo, and I liked MJF coming in and kind of laying out the reasons why Hangman could be the devil. They should have been doing this a long time ago. Like, why not have every week MJF goes up to somebody else and, like, tells them why they could be the devil, Like, because this is like, oh, I never thought about it being Hangman. That would be fucking weird if it was Hangman, but it would still be kind of a satisfying conclusion if they never would have brought it up. But now I'm thinking about it now. I obviously don't think it's going to be Hangman. What did you think, Jason?
Good use of just callbacks through when in between MJF and Hangman when they were, oh, I beat you this time. I was like, oh yeah, I do remember that. And, Hangman's like, yeah, you did beat me, but I ended up becoming world champion. I was like, oh yeah. So in that scenario, I like that back and forth. Should they have been doing more of this? I guess bringing out more possible suspects. Yeah, probably. I don't necessarily think that it's the worst thing that they didn't do, but I think a part of me kind of thinks that we're just throwing more people out to stall for time for whatever reason. If it's Adam Cole, it's for him to get healthy. If it's for Jack Perry, it's for whatever reason, or Sami Callihan is fill in the blank reason. It just feels like this could have been done a while ago. It doesn't really, hurt the angle that is being done now. It actually kind of helps it a little more because now, like you said, 3-Beer, it's not only just about, who's the devil, but Hangman Page now kind of, has kind of bumped into being in the world title scene again without, actually winning a match. So it'll be interesting, MJF being laid out, beer bottle, around him is another interesting, Hangman Page kind of a clue that's left, but it was really good TV just to see Hangman Page not just being scarred aside just yet. There's plenty for him to do. It's just now, what could he do? And we just gave him something right away when he came back. So all in all, I liked it, and I totally agree with you. Somehow, some way, Page is going to cost Swerve something, whether it's this Continental Classic or the actual world title match itself.
Yeah, two guys battling over who can get more STDs was pretty good. So, speaking of Swerve, he was in a match with Mark Briscoe, and I gotta say, I know that we all like Mark Briscoe. I know we all like the Briscoes historically, and I don't think that Mark gets enough flowers for just the wrestler that he is, because he's one of those guys that, for the most part, was constantly in a tag team with his brother. Kind of like, my take on Nick and Matt Jackson. I think Nick Jackson's like one of the best just singles wrestlers around, but he just never does singles matches. And then Mark is out here having incredible tournament matches. I think he's had some of my favorite matches so far in this tournament. But unfortunately, even though this was a must-win match for Mark Briscoe, he did not win. And now Swerve is up 9 points. But, man, these guys were very good.
Yeah, do like Mark Briscoe a lot. Like I said before this whole tournament thought, I would have just bet, $100, $200, $500 that he was going to be the next AEW World Champion, taking it off of Eddie Kingston. Now, that being said, Mark Briscoe
is Ring of Honor.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry, Ring of Honor champion. Now, that being said, it just feels like, where does Mark Briscoe go? I don't necessarily think you want to put him in a tag team, but, in the hierarchy of AEW, it doesn't feel like he could be the AEW champion anytime soon, if at all. So, in that scenario, it's a negative part about, merging all these titles together. But just for the physical match itself, Mark Briscoe does his thing. And, I mean, he's an entertaining watch. Knew he wasn't being swerved, but, I mean, damn, he had the crowd basically in the palm of his hand, but, thinking that the upset could happen. Just didn't happen. And it's not a knock against Mark Briscoe. I think he'll be, hopefully like the mid-card champion in AEW, but just never
the
be
Ring
world champion.
Ring of Honor belts are represented on AEW television all the time. I don't understand why Mark Briscoe isn't going for the Ring of Honor singles title. Like, that seems like a perfect place for him.
Well, I mean, realistically, the only title that he could go for at this point would be the TV title. I mean, that or the pure title. That's the only two singles titles that are really up for grabs at this point.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he's not going to win this thing. I get
exactly.
it. Yep. Okay.
What? Newsflash, Jason wants more ROH singles titles. No, I'm joking.
no, man, no. I don't know. I wish they would have just did this a little different way. Just name a champion, have the tournament. Just do it like the G1. Just have the tournament winner challenge the champion. Pretty simple.
Sure. And then last week we're like, they're not really going to have MJF and Samoa Joe face these masked devils, right? And no, we didn't, because Samoa Joe came out. But
thank God.
Then we got, they got out of it, because I was like, this is so dumb. I'm like, you book a match. As far as like kayfabe style, like these guys need to be cleared, which I guess in this storyline doesn't matter at all, because we're gonna have one-legged guy who had like a torn ankle and broken ankle, who was gonna wrestle a world title match in a match that he wasn't even actually a champion. So that's like all part of the story. So I guess like having cleared people, like what are these devils gonna do? Who are they? Like there's no kind of like oversight or anything. It's just
listen, check it out, man. Listen. I got the idea, man. Listen. This is what we're gonna do, right? We're gonna have Samoa Joe and MJF. They're gonna wrestle the devils. All right, they're gonna wrestle the devils. Devils are gonna come out. They're gonna be wearing devil masks, and they are gonna wrestle the devils. Book it.
You ain't
it's this devil thing. I think it jumped the shark last week with the booking of the match. For me, that's where the believability, and I'm like tuning in. I'm fine with it. It's also just not super intriguing to me anymore. I'm here along for the ride, but like I'm not tuning in to find out who the devil is.
No, there was no, like, that's how you know that it's kind of gone too long, because they booked the match, but nobody went into last night being like, oh, we're going to find out who the devil is tonight. So everybody knew that this thing was happening, and it just didn't seem like anybody was that excited about it. I wasn't. I was more excited about the 3 Continental Classic matches.
No doubt.
Yep.
This was I'm not going to sit here and say it jumped the shark, but just throw us another breadcrumb, man. I mean, if you're going to drag it out, that's fine. Slow roll this shit. But we need another
One guy comes out, and they unmask him, and we find out who he is, but he's not the head, right? He's just parts. He's just part of the body.
It was kind of like they did.
You cut off the arm.
Right? It's kind of like they did with Aces and Eights in TNA. And I thought that was a real good way to kind of slowly reveal all the Aces and Eights members. They could do that the same way
Every
here.
time I hear Aces and Eights, and I watched it a little bit, but man, what a great name for a faction.
No,
that's a great name for a faction.
It was really good. It was probably one of my better, more fun times when it came to TNA and Impact watching it.
You know what? It sounds cooler than Sons of Anarchy.
Oh no! Okay.
Dorks.
I don't even know who the lead guy is. He's just walking around his kitchen, making some dinner and shit. Just, got it, gotcha. What's this BFR shrapnel in my leg for?
You remember that part in Sopranos where they catch that motorcycle gang, Chrissy and Tony catch that motorcycle gang stealing wine, and they rob them. And they're like, "You're messing with the Vipers." And they're eating dinner later, and they're like, "Oh, you're messing with the Vipers."
Dude.
The mob guys making fun of the motorcycle gang. Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny.
Oh, God, I love that fucking show.
Anyway, that was quite the tangent.
I don't know if it's because I'm listening to Mox's book kind of off and on right now, but I'm really... Like, John Moxley always has great promos, and I really dug this one because it was kind of like him just, like, having fun, and I think a cocky Moxley is my favorite kind of Moxley, at least in a pro wrestling setting, in a kayfabe setting, because this dude comes out and he's like, "I'm humble before God and my mother, but look, I know what I'm capable of.
I was like, oh,
I'm
shit.
3-0. I'm going to be 5-0. And I'm going to win the Continental Classic because, bitch, I'm the ace of the world."
I was like, God damn.
He also started the promo off with his back to the camera, like, for a while. And he was like, and then he turned around to the camera like, oh,
you're here.
Hello.
Yeah.
And then just cuts this disgusting promo. I mean, I think Moxley's my favorite promo. I think he's number one.
Yeah.
That's great. No,
He's my favorite wrestling promo.
I would be lying if I did not say when Mox comes on and it's his turn to talk, or it's him by himself.
Him doing those
he has my attention.
Him doing those 1 minute backstage things, every single one of them is fucking money.
No, he set it up to now, Swerve comes right in, and it's the battle of the undefeated. And it's, like I said,
I think Swerve was watching him with his back to the camera like this motherfucker,
talking
turn
shit.
around, man.
Motherfucker talking shit. Look at me when I'm
coming. And that match next week is going to be lit. Even if it wasn't both 9-0, but the fact that they are both 9-0 and they're both on such a hot streak. I mean, Mox has been on a hot streak since 2019.
That's got to be the main event, right?
It better be.
Yeah.
Shit.
Absolutely.
That's a big match.
The winner wins the block.
Oh, man. How cool is it when we have matches that have stakes?
Yeah.
Who's that a shot on, man?
I've just been saying forever there should be more tournaments. Just give me a tournament so that matches have stakes.
You act like AEW doesn't give tournaments. That's all they really do.
They're okay at it. They're pretty good at it. I mean, AEW gives me more matches. Like, listen, Drew versus Sammy was really good on Raw.
True.
There was nothing on the line. So, like, it's hard for me as a viewer to get that invested in it when I watch so much fucking wrestling. And it's like, okay, well, really all I have to know here, all I have to know to keep up with the product is what happens in the last 3 minutes. I mean, it's just easier to get invested. I watched every single AEW match all the way through last night. There were stakes. I mean, all the Continental Classic matches.
Well, I mean, I was getting ready to say, man, I know I can find one of these matches you didn't watch all the way through. Give me a second.
Actually,
well,
no, I watched. There were 5 matches. I watched all 5 of them all the way through. Yeah.
I bet it was the next one
Yes.
Because we had the Turner Classic Movies host introduced the Great British Cake Off here. Tony Storm versus Sky Blue.
It's really good.
But exactly what. But this match is also really good. It wasn't just that. It was a really good match. And
for those of you that didn't catch that, he called that match the Great British Cake Off.
Oh my Lord, that's amazing. God damn.
He's talking about butts. Tony Storm versus Sky Blue.
Cake.
Again, there wasn't a whole lot of intrigue as to who was going to win this match, but this match was pretty good. Tony Storm, I'll tell you what, Tony Storm, when the shit turns black and white when it's happening live, that's a nice touch. It's pretty funny.
It's
pretty funny, and she's
it
playing
sets her
her
apart.
character really well. Like after she wins, like how she almost faints.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
No,
Really funny.
I'm glad that Tony Storm is getting a run at least getting a character that people can invest in and get behind.
This is a real character.
No, it is.
Like,
It is. It's
People are going to be
so
talking
good.
about this one for a while.
Yeah, it's so good, and the fact that she's getting a run with the title is a good thing. Rio coming back doesn't necessarily move the needle for me per se, but I kind of get it. Ultimately, I'm waiting for two people: Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker. Give me one of those two, then we can start really talking about Tony Storm being more of a big time, AEW women's all-time women's champion. Right now, this run, fan-fucking-tastic so far. Mariah May should be coming in and causing some havoc here in a little bit. I'm waiting for that too.
I think Rio, I was happy to see Rio back because she doesn't she's not like a draw, right? But every time she has a match, dude, the crowds are so into her.
Yeah,
the
crowd popped
she
last
has,
night.
Not
she
disagreeing.
has something.
She's the
just that
she's the
connection to the
underdog.
fans.
America loves
Yeah.
the underdog, except for when it's
Hey,
Florida
yeah.
State, but that's another story for another time.
Or Palestine. But,
Oh yeah, that too.
Both equal
Switchblade-
causes.
Very comparable scenarios.
I was saying, I'm gonna come a Seminole booster this weekend. God damn it, we ain't gonna be getting cheated no more.
But yeah, then we had Battle of the Jays.
Right?
I think the crowd had more fun in this match just cheering for Jay than anything. But this was it was a fun match. These guys are very good professional wrestlers. But Jay White had already lost one. Jay Lethal has been putting guys over, and I feel like that's his role as an older veteran dude who's not really he's kind of in a comedy menagerie right now. It's like a fucking circus group.
What is Jay Lethal's, and this is catnip for some people, and some people might roll their eyes at this question, but what's Jay Lethal's equivalent in the G1 that he is in the Continental Classic? Is it like Godo?
No, Goto's way more serious. I feel like
In terms
I
of the
kind of-
older guy that's there to eat pins, though.
yeah.
No,
it'd be
Godo
like
does. If I say Godo, he usually steps up to the challenge. He might
playing
lose a
double.
match, but he'll win a match too.
Yeah.
Jay Lethal hasn't even won a match, so I'm not even going to put him out there. I want to say Yano, but I mean, hell, Yano wins matches, and he does it in a comedy fashion, and that's not
And-
what Jay does.
And Yano is way funnier than Lethal. Come on.
Okay, man, whatever. Shit.
They're going to talk about Yano when we're dead.
Ishii is
Yeah.
I need to see Yano's Macho Man impression before I have. No, I'm joking.
Black
Man.
I
Machismo.
think it-
Good call.
Yano would be a great snap into a Slim Jim guy, though, wouldn't he?
God damn, man, he's got
He
like
would.
15 endorsements before he even.
He says slap into a Slim Jim, then he shrugs.
Okay, well played. I'm gonna go with Tomohiro Ishii as the comparison that
All right.
I would go with as Jay Lethal.
Fair enough.
That's as good as I can get.
I like this match.
Oh man, no, Ishii is generally an MVP of tournaments. I would say it'd be one of the older previous world champions, because that's Jay Lethal's role. Previous world champions is going to give you a good match, but he's going to lose every single one of them, like a Hanma, not Hanma, but
Tenzan.
a lot of the guys.
Those
Yeah,
guys ain't
Kojima.
even in the G1 anymore.
Kojima, no, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, when we first started, they were still hanging on.
He's like Takahashi.
Oh, no, he is no Yujiro. Don't you do that. Don't you do that. No, I'll go Tenzan. I'll go Kojima. That's fair. He is no Yujiro.
Yeah,
Goddamn.
Kojima. That's perfect.
Yeah,
He's a
Kojima feels like that's the perfect one because it feels like this is towards the end of Jay's career. Both former world champions, both here to cough up points. I can go with that.
All right, and then main event time, we had the Patriarch Christian Cage. God damn it, I love that.
Damn, that motherfucker's good.
Definitely the greatest Christian Cage gimmick of all time.
Yes.
And
it's not
versus
even
Adam
close.
Copeland. And I mean, I could not have predicted like Christian rizzing Nick Wayne's mom. I didn't see that coming. But he totally rizzed the shit out of her, and he's gonna. I don't know. This is great storytelling stuff, but long story short, it comes down to Christian cheating and Nick Wayne's mom, Shanna. Is that her name?
Shayna, I think.
Shayna, yeah. Shayna.
Shayna, and she grabs the belt.
I found her OnlyFans.
Copeland.
Okay, hang on.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Hold the fuck up. One, I need that link, and two, how you talking shit?
Let me just say, I looked her up last night.
Hey, 1, you're welcome. 2, JCB, I'll send it to you.
I was like, man, this chick looks old, and I look her up, and she's 4 years younger than me.
That's what you get for talking
Like,
shit.
oh man, is that what I look like? I'm kidding. I have no idea how old she is. Sorry. Continue.
No, but, overall, I mean, you know, they gave us kind of what we wanted. Like, I keep wanting to call him Edge. Copeland got his hands on, Edge got his hands on Christian, beat the shit out of him to start out the match, which is what we've been, you know, paying to see, right? Because Christian's been running away from him this whole time, and it was fun. They had a good wrestling match, and then there were some heel shenanigans, but overall, a fantastic main event to cap off. Really, I mean, we spent a lot of time talking about it, but it was a loaded show.
Loaded show. It was great.
Yeah,
it was really great.
I hate to always agree with you guys on this one, but yeah, this is.
I mean, like I said,
really
I watched it front to back. It was a jam-packed 2 hours. I wanted to see every match. Everybody, you know, really gave it their all. There was one pretty good angle where I was happy that they went the way they went instead of the opposite. It was really good, man.
No, Christian Cage has been doing amazing work as one of the big heels, if not the top heel in AEW. Once Shayna Wayne came down, that's, like I said, to me, I was like, okay, this is going to be the heel turn. Because in my head, I was thinking, all right, Luchasaurus has been ran down. Nick Wayne's out. So realistically, in kayfabe style, there is nobody for Christian to have his back. Nobody that can come out and perform the fuckery. So I'm just waiting. The match is going on. It's a really good match. And then once she came down, I was like, oh, shit, here we go.
I was disappointed. I was like, it's like.
I have no problem with it.
I would have rather been a wrestler.
Nope. This is the perfect person to do it.
Oh, wow, really?
She watched her son. She watched her son.
Breezy.
Oh, you guys
she
are both.
watched her son get that work.
You guys both like this?
You love it.
I love it. I thought I was not expecting it, and it's so gross. And that is just.
It's going to be a train wreck for the rest of the time they do this.
They need to pay it off with Christian marrying her.
Or like courting her or something like that.
Wrestling marriage of all time.
Yeah, I would
wrestling
totally be
marriages
down for
are
that.
usually really bad.
I'm completely serious.
No, I'm dead ass serious too. It's called the patriarchy for a reason. So you need a mother and a father.
They need to have
click them up and you keep them together for as long as possible.
Christian needs to adopt him,
dude.
Oh yeah,
all for it.
And get her pregnant.
All for it. Run this motherfucker into the ground. I am here for the chaos.
I mean,
yes.
I was not. I guess I'm kind of working myself into a shape.
I'm over here like, yes.
I mean, when I watched it, I was not a fan of it at all. I mean, I didn't mind. I didn't mind shenanigans at the end of it. Her performance was really bad.
I didn't expect her to come in and make me believe that she really knocked out Adam Copeland.
Why is she running down to the ring to hit somebody, but then she gets in the ring, she doesn't know which one she's going to hit? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I wasn't judging the performance. Those are all valid criticisms. I was just, it was the outcome that I was not expecting.
She can run down to the
I
ring every
expected
time
kill
she wants to.
switch.
I'm just saying. Number one.
Which I just realized that Christian Cage named. He didn't even come up with a new name. Like, that's his finisher. He just named him his finisher. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. That's
No,
so
he even
funny.
said that during the promo. He goes, Luchasaurus has been finishing things for me for a while. He's like, he's my finisher. He's kill switch.
Well played.
Better name for somebody
Christian
than the
Cage-
Unprettier, but that's still what I call it. I still call it the Unprettier.
I like the
pretty
Prettier
fun.
better, but that's just me. Either way, Christian Cage, yes. Go ahead. Give him his flowers. You go first.
Yeah, I'm just saying, as far as like must-see TV, there are very few wrestlers where I feel that I need to watch every segment that they're on. And Christian Cage is absolutely one of them. No matter like who he's feuding with, you never know what he's going to say. And it's not just edgelord shit. Like, some of it is, dark for the sake of being dark, but he also just, his delivery, the way he carries himself.
Even his
like,
cheap heat is must-see shit.
Exactly.
So good.
I can't even imagine. I know I was there for it. I watched it whenever he was a babyface, and he was like, he had Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, and like, we were enjoying that. Like, he had some really great matches with them as like a trio. And, he had some great singles matches. He had that run as Impact champion. And it was all really good. Like, but it is nothing in comparison to this. Like, he's one of the best things of 2023.
When he ran his daughter off of the set, that was it. That's when I was like, "Oh, this motherfucker."
That feels like
on
a long
whole
time ago
new
too.
level.
I mean, he's been doing work for a while.
That's what I'm saying. When he ran that girl off, I was like, "Oh, this is it. That's the man." Give him his flowers. So yeah, Christian Cage has been a great addition to AEW, and I always remember him coming in. I was like, "Man, Christian Cage, what the fuck?"
Who said that?
When he was initially debuted, and I can't remember what show it was, and it was not received very well, and everybody's like, well, not everybody, but a lot of people on Twitter was running the pick down or whatever the case, but the signing, better choice of words, and now
I have a
year and
drop.
a half later, it's just
I have
amazing.
a drop on my phone that I almost considered putting on tonight, but I went with that one from Dewey Cox instead. But there is a drop that I have where Christian Cage is talking about wrestling Twitter and how terrible it is and how toxic it is. It's really funny. He fucking rules. One of my all-time favorites. I've been on the Christian train for a long, long time. Love him. He's peaking. He's peaking late.
Shit. Better late than never. Like I said, shit, this motherfucker's on one. I'm here for it. I can't wait for him to just wreak havoc with Shayna Wayne next to him doing this shit. This is going to be great.
All right. That'll do it for our 3 count. 5 pretty good hours of television. 10 pretty good hours of wrestling television this week. 10 pretty good hours.
Hang on, 5.
And that's not even counting NXT, which is pretty good.
Carry the one.
Let's get to that. Speaking of NXT.
1, 2, 3.
All right. Zach, did you get a chance to watch NXT the program?
No, I've been really bad about it lately.
Yep, that's all right. We can get straight into the predictions because everything that we're going to talk about here that happened on the program is going to be talked about.
I'm assuming so, minus Chase U.
Yeah, Chase U was making fun of Jim Harbaugh, which I
Holy
appreciate.
fucking shit, that's great.
Where Andre Chase is now currently embroiled in a controversy where he has been embezzling funds from Chase U to pay for his gambling habit.
And he's in deep.
And he's in really deep. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. He
God
called a
damn.
press conference.
Dude, that fucking segment
with all
was
the
just...
Chase U students. That some of you won't be able to graduate.
She's like, what the fuck? Dude, it's amazing. It's that and Carmelo and Trick are my 2 favorite angles on NXT right now.
So, let's get into some predictions, and we can hold Zach's hand through this. Zach,
You hold his hand through this shit. That's your relative.
Zach, you've heard of all these wrestlers, I promise. Nathan Frazier versus Axiom in a match on the kickoff show. Zach, why don't you go first? Actually, you know what? Because you didn't watch it, I'll go first. I have no idea who's going to win this. They kind of started off having a match.
Okay, hold up. Don't give me any handicaps. Just let me go first because I know nothing right now.
All right,
dumbass.
I might agree with you.
The old Sam Mall trick.
Yeah, right. Go ahead, Mr. Perfect. You're going to run the table now.
Zach, who do you got?
Nathan Frazier. Really good. I always really enjoy him whenever I see him. Actually, I'm like super dope wrestler, but maybe I'm thinking like too much like Tony Khan, but he's a mass guy that's always fantastic. You can beat him every week. Doesn't matter.
Wow. That's fucked
He's
up.
always
Jason, who you got?
Yeah.
That's some fucked up shit. I'm with you. I have no idea who's going to win this. A part of me is I'm just going to go with my gut. Nathan Frazier was my gut feeling coming into it. He does the Phoenix Splash as his finisher. Obviously, that has some little tingling to my heart. Shout out to my boy Brett. We'll be doing a couple shows in the next couple weeks, but I'm gonna go with Nathan Frazier as the winner. Axiom just kind of there for me.
Yeah, I'm going with Nathan Frazier also just because it feels like he's more of a seriously they're a guy that they take seriously, probably a guy that they can see in the title feud at some point. So I'm going to take Nathan Frazier also. So coming up next, so there's two matches here, Zach, that have 5 wrestlers apiece.
Good luck.
And
it's the Iron Survivor.
yeah,
look at
so let's go with the women's Iron Survivor here. Zach, you can go first. We got Tiffany Stratton, Lash Legend, Blair Davenport, Kalani Jordan, and Fallon Henley. Who do you got from least to most?
Least to most.
This is gonna be good.
Lash Legend. Sorry. Kalani Jordan, Fallon Henley, Blair Davenport, Tiffany Stratton.
God dang it. You know, I let you go first, and you picked exactly the way that I'm picking. It's like, God damn it. I had just written them all down, and then I started writing yours down, and you had the exact fucking same. Oh, are you
Great minds,
gonna back me up?
Yeah,
I watched that happen.
I watched
right?
it. I watched him do it.
It's fucking unbelievable.
That's great.
I have the exact same. Jason, who do you got?
Least to most, let's go Kalani Jordan as least likely as babyface. I don't see her getting a babyface versus babyface title match. We'll go Lash Legend next. Her slamming Otis was really good, but I don't think that's going to equate into a NXT title match. Who am I missing? Fallon Henley next. I just think she's probably somewhere in the middle of all this. I'm going Tiffany Stratton as second most likely to win. She's had her NXT run. We've already seen her and Lyra go at it. I don't think we're going back to it. The one person we haven't seen, and I've kind of been waiting for patiently, is the one that's going to probably win this, at least in my mind. Heel versus babyface. Blair Davenport has been quietly not been doing much, and I think it's time for her to get a little spotlight on this Joker. I got Blair Davenport winning the women's Iron Survivor match.
Blair Davenport looks like that chick in the trailer park whose sister is a hairstylist. You know what I mean? You got that blonde. It's so
Stop.
It's so Hoosier, dude.
Stop, dude. Let that girl live.
It is so Hoosier.
Great Clips is taking shots.
Right.
We have Roxanne Perez.
Oh shit, my hand.
Roxanne Perez versus Kiana James. I mean, I don't even know. What do you think, Zach?
I don't think you take the title off Roxanne.
That's great. Say that again for me, please.
I said I don't think you take the title off Roxanne.
She does not have the title.
No.
Lyra
Who does?
Valkyria has the title.
Are
So
you serious?
yeah, serious.
I haven't watched in like 2 months.
I know. So who do you got? Hold on, I think you cut out there. Who do you got?
I said I'll still pick Roxanne.
Yeah, I'm taking Roxanne too. Jason, who do you got?
Make it 3.
Okay.
When did she lose the title?
It was a while
It was a
ago.
long time ago, right?
You were
don't
camping or something, or at a strip club eating
Probably.
chicken tenders.
No, I thought that was the week that he was in the hotel room on sequester.
I don't know, but
Sleeping in the cuck chair.
I don't remember when it happened either. So some really terrible news about Wes Lee. That Wes Lee has to have back surgery, so he is not able to be in this match against Dominic Mysterio. For the second pay-per-view in a row, Dragon Lee is taking the place of somebody else who got injured. So we're going to have Dragon Lee versus Dom for the North American title. Zach, who do you have?
I just realized I forgot all about that Becky Lynch title run and Tiffany Stratton title.
Yeah, I know. Like, it was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. Sorry. I'm mostly through a bottle of wine here. So what was the match?
Dominic versus Dragon Lee.
Oh, man, that's tough. That is very, very tough. I feel like Dom is, like, totally NXT's guy. I know I've seen Shawn Michaels, like, say just amazing things about Dom, but at the same time, they're really pushing Dragon Lee. Man. I'm going to go with a dark horse, and I'm going to say Dragon Lee.
God dang it, I'm taking Dragon Lee too. I think it's time for a change in this story. Something's got to give. I'm taking Dragon Lee. Jason, who you got?
You motherfuckers here. You guys took my goddamn pick. Do I stick with it, or do I play the Zach role of, I got points? Just for contrarian's sake, I'll say fuck it. I'll take Dom. I think Dragon Lee's going to win, but I'll take Dom.
Take Dragon Lee.
No, I'll take Dom.
All right. We also have Carmelo Hayes versus Lexis King in the match that was just made. Zach, I'll let you go first.
What was it?
Lexis King. Lexis King versus Carmelo Hayes.
This should be a great
I'm
fucking...
doing really, really poorly here.
Watch it.
I'll go with
Lexis
Carmelo-
King is
Carmelo
Brian
Hayes.
Pillman Jr.
Yeah, of course he is. Man, I guess. Has he had any other matches? I haven't seen him debut.
He's had one match. He's won it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll go with Lexis King because he's new.
Jason, who do you got?
I'm going to agree with Two Beer on this one. I think this kind of helps the Carmelo Hayes fall from grace storyline that seems to be happening. So, yeah, I'll take Lexis King as well.
Oh, man. I mean, how can they have Lexis King lose? I'm taking Lexis King, but I think this is going to be more of an angle than a match. Maybe not. I don't know. We got the men's Iron Survivor match. We have Dijak, Trick Williams, Josh Briggs, Braun Breaker, and Tyler Bate wins the second chance match. So, Zach, from least to most.
Least the most. I put Josh Briggs at the bottom, and then Trick Williams. And I'm only doing that, like, this is kind of probably against my own better judgment. And then Dijak, and then I'll put Tyler Bate, and then I'll put Braun Breaker. Putting Tyler Bate higher than I think he'll actually land, but I'm hopeful for him.
Jason, who do you got?
Let's go Josh Briggs, least likely. I'm going to go Braun Breaker next. I think him and Carmelo are on the way up. I guess you can put him against Ilya if you wanted to. Just doesn't make sense. I think it's time to start making some new stars here. In the middle, I'm going to go with Trick Williams. I think somehow, some way, Carmelo and or Lexis King get involved, so he can't win it. So we are down to, if I'm not mistaken, Tyler Bates and
Dijak.
Dijak 2.
Friend of me on
Tyler
the show.
Yep, Dijak 2. Tyler Bate 1. Tyler Bate is it on this redemption arc storyline where he kind of lost a little bit. He had to go away. Now he's coming back. I think him and Ilya Dragunov would be a banger of a main event anytime, any place, anywhere. Give me Tyler Bate to win the men's Iron
That
Survivor.
makes me feel way better.
Yeah, I have it almost the exact same as Jason, except I have Trick Williams and Dijak flipped. I have Dijak in third, and Trick is second, most likely. There's a lot of story there. Same, though. I have Briggs last. I have Braun Breaker. It would be really boring if Braun Breaker won this.
What more can you do?
Nothing. Call him up, man. He's got to
I
be
just
in the
figured-
Royal Rumble,
I
right?
figured-
I mean, he's got to
I
be in the
figured the
Royal
last-
Rumble.
Oh, yeah.
The only reason I pick him is I feel the last thing he can do is lose before
Or
he goes up.
putting Dragunov over wouldn't be the worst thing in the world by any stretch of the imagination. I totally get it. I just think this is a scenario where he could do more, do something better, if you will, than just doing this. I think Dragunov is fine. Obviously, he's got Corbin coming up. I think he just went to go take a piss. So while I'm thinking about, let's do it right now. Ilya Dragunov, Baron Corbin, NXT title match. I'll just keep up to the script. I'll let you go first. 3-Beer, who you got?
I got Dragunov.
Yeah, I'll say this. As much as I gave Baron Corbin shit and still kind of do from time to time, I like this NXT Baron Corbin. I liked him when he was the Lone Wolf. I like this Baron Corbin now. The main roster Baron Corbin has not necessarily been something I've enjoyed. Sad Corbin when he was getting shit on a lot. I think that was probably the funniest of the bunch, but that's just probably me just, projecting my hate to Baron Corbin. Neither here nor there. I think this Baron Corbin is the best Baron Corbin, and I think he'll be a good foil for Dragunov. Hell, he might actually hit the end of days and Dragunov might kick out. I doubt it because end of days is a pretty protected finisher. But yeah, ultimately I agree with you. I got Dragunov retaining, and then from that point, Dragunov, like I said, Dragunov Tyler Bate sounds like a nice little way to kick off 2024 on the NXT side of things.
Zach take Dragunov also?
He did.
So, I'm going to spice things up a little bit.
Do it! Do it. Do it.
I'm
Steve
going to
Patterson
take...
wants you to.
I'm taking Baron Corbin just because I think it would be fun. I think it'd be fun to have... It's a cool little dynamic these two freakazoids have with each other. I liked Ilya Dragunov hugging him at the very end the other night.
Yeah, I was like,
Baron
shit,
Corbin
you might have fucked up.
Baron Corbin is in his bag. I say, let's spice it up. Let's have him win. Do I think he's going to win? No. Am I picking him to win?
Yes.
Yes. Give me Baron Corbin.
Look, I got Dominic. I got you, buddy.
All right.
That was my Bill Vagey special of the week.
That's Deadline. So I think the Deadline is going to be Saturday night, right?
Yes.
All right. And we picked it all. That's going to do it for our 3 count.
1, 2, 3.
Any odds and ends you'd like to talk about?
World Tag League just finished up this morning, as a matter of fact. So they're doing they did it the same way they did Best of Super Juniors. So the top 2 on Block A advance, top 2 on Block B advance. The winner of Block A wrestles the runner-up of Block B, vice versa. Basically, you have, make sure I'm saying this correctly. I think it's War Dogs. No, take that back. Yeah, War Dogs won Block A. TMDK was the runner-up.
Woo!
Bishamon won Block B.
Yes.
ELP and Hikuleu were the runner-up. So you would have War Dogs face ELP and Hikuleu. Bishamon versus TMDK. That's your semifinals. And then the final is Sunday morning. Obviously, the winners from that point will advance
So
and face each other Sunday morning.
I'm supposed to put an Amazon wish list on for shit that I want for Christmas, and I'm putting a bunch of TMDK shit on.
Oh, yeah, I got to get their
I'm gonna
shirt.
be decked out in TMDK shit.
I gotta get their
24.
Yeah, I got to get their orange shirt, man. That motherfucker is
It's
jumping.
TMDK and New Orleans Pelicans. That's all I'm rocking in 2024.
Do they have a Speedo?
Ooh, I would wear a TMD. I would wear Shane Haste's face on my ass in a TMDK
I just
Speedo.
mean TMDK across the ass.
Okay. See, you're not helping.
Well, I mean, that's what they wear.
That's them, motherfucker. I don't need to see him running around in that shit. What's wrong with you? You're right. Only Thursday is right. No, that's all I got on that side of the fence. Outside of that, everything's building to Wrestle Kingdom coming up on the 4th of January.
Do we have
What do
any
you
more
think it's gonna be?
matches booked?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. Obviously, the winner of this tournament will face Bishamon, so that really leads me to believe that Bishamon ain't gonna win this motherfucker. But no new. Oh shit! The other I can't forget.
War Dogs, right? War Dogs should win, right?
I don't. If it's to me, it's. I really want TMDK to finally get their fucking flowers. They lost to Bishamon 3 fucking times.
Do not have it be ELP and Hikuleo.
That's the only team that's to me the
No.
only no. Ren
feel like
Narita turned on Shota Umino. Ren Narita is now part of House of Torture. That's the other thing.
What?
Yeah, that happened yesterday.
The Wheeler Yuta of House of Torture.
I don't know.
That's the worst move of his career.
No, my
That's a
knee-jerk
bad
reaction.
move.
My knee-jerk reaction, I was pissed off just because I hate House of Torture. So
Is he going to be in a tag team with Show?
No, Show's junior. Ren's a heavy. I think Show and not Show, but Ren and Shota. That's probably going to be a Wrestle Kingdom match because it feels
that
like
shit.
they've gotten to that point where now they're both going to be pissed off at each other.
Who's the Suji going to fight?
Me and Brett were talking about this today.
It should be him Ospreay. That should be the match.
We already seen it though.
Show it to me again.
Right. I said 8-man tag. I'm gonna stick to it. There's nobody that Suji has come across throughout Tag League to where I'm like, oh, he's beefing with fill in the blank. It hasn't been like that. So you probably got 3-4 weeks to make it happen. I don't see it happening in 3 or 4 weeks. Like I said, to me, he's gonna be on the card. It's just gonna be in an 8-man, 6-man tag.
Dude, Sonata needs to take Ren Narita out for sushi or ramen and just be like, are you still with that bad guy? And like, you need to dump him, girl. Because that is just not good. Ren Narita, of all the things he could have done, House of Torture. Oh,
It just doesn't fit him.
no.
Hang on. This is what I was going to say, just to follow up to that, because I didn't think that, but just follow the bouncing ball. All the 3 Musketeers have gotten in some sort of faction. Yurmura's in Just 5 Guys. Suji's in LIJ.
Yurma's not one of the 3 Musketeers, though.
Okay, but just see what I'm saying, though. To me, he's the 4th Musketeer. He's the 4th Beetle.
Yeah.
Okay, but still in that line. Now, Ren Narita is in that House of Torture. So now you're basically setting up the future with young guys that ultimately could take over these individual factions. So you're looking down the line. I don't necessarily think this is a great thing right now, but I think if they have Ren Narita become the House of Torture leader, then they will follow his lead versus dumbass's evil lead.
How about this? House of Torture should just be evil until evil's done. And then let's just get rid of House of Torture. House of Torture should not be around all the time. They should just be like this one thing. They're like, right to censor or something.
Wait a minute. I'm not saying you
Just
love
hang
right to
out for a
censor.
while. But they just hang out for a while. I'd love to see Right to Censor make a comeback.
See, there you go.
Just thinking about that in the TikTok era. Oh,
There
Right
you
to
go.
Censor's got some work to do.
Ooh, yeah.
Come on, Steven Richards.
Yeah, I was going to say in
Come on home.
2023, man, their heads might explode. Are you fucking kidding
It'd be
me right
funny
now?
if Right to Censor came back and Steven Richards comes out and cuts a promo just like CM Punk's. He's like, I am home. He's got Ivory and Val Venus and the Good Father standing next to him. Bull Buchanan.
I'm sure there's a nice round WWE number that's coming up, SmackDown 1500. Yeah, you can bring it back for shit like that.
Oh, man, they were so good.
Dude, Val Venus lives that Right to Censor gimmick now.
Oh, is he a big right winger?
Oh yeah.
I love that Venus. I love that Venus is spelled like penis. That is just so funny.
Good old Vince.
It's so funny.
They'll
man.
never get this. Watch this.
It's one of the funniest things ever. We never think about it.
Shit, I think about it all the damn time. You kidding me?
You think about it all the
He's
time.
a fucking porn star, dude. Come on.
Val Venus smells like penis.
Yes, exactly. And act as a porn star. You have to think it.
Band from Ringside.
Hey, everybody, we got some birthdays this week. Ravishing Rick Rude, R.I.P. Would have been 65. Sonny, 51. John Moxley is 38. ACH is 36. Slick, he's only 66, man. Slick is only 66. I would have guessed 80. Michael Cole is 55. Enzo Amore, 37. Kurt Angle, best there ever was, 55. JTG, I ask you this every year. You know what JTG stands for?
Shit. And I know this
Just
one.
too good.
Just too good.
Yeah, thank you.
JTG, only 39.
What?
Mysterio is 49. James Ellsworth, 39. Oh, man. James Ellsworth.
That was a nice
He
little
was
run
something.
he had.
He was really good.
Good on him.
They should bring him back. Sonny Kiss is 30. Sabu, 59. Junkyard Dog
R.I.P.
would have been 71. And friend of the show, Michael Elgin. Should I even say that? Probably. I don't know. Yeah, sure. Friend of the show.
It doesn't matter.
37.
You act like there's going to be a huge boycott on BFR.
like he gonna come find us.
Hey, everybody, we know there's tons of podcasts to listen to, so we appreciate you guys listening to our podcast. For my beautiful family inside,
Check.
for Tender Mahal,
Check.
for Murray the Murray Man, Murray,
Check.
for Lucha Chris,
Double check.
for Patriot Pat,
Check.
for Vice,
Check.
for Two Beers Zach Palmer,
Check.
for Jason Cornelius Bell.
Konnichiwa, bitches.
I am Bill Vagey.
Check.
Support your local weed dealer.
Check.
Support your local restaurant.
Double check.
Tip your bartenders.
Triple check.
Call your parents. Get your Christmas
Quadruple
shopping
check.
done. Black Lives Matter. And
Check
never
that shit,
forget
too.
to boo the heels.
Boo, bitch.